VGC is supported by Patreon. Check out patreon.com/videogameschronicle for more podcasts, ad-free browsing, and extra content. Thank you for your support. I used to wake up with a smile and go to bed at night with a dream. It's VGC, the video game podcast, with me, Jordan Midler, Chris Scullion, and Andy Robinson. This week, you're holding your Switch 2 wrong, but first, how's it going, folks? Chris, how you doing?
Doing good.
Good.
Tired.
Sound like you're doing good. Yeah, fantastic.
Doing great, mate.
Yeah.
This may be my last podcast for a while because I'm
about
going
to
to
say.
Hooray! On Thursday. Watch the numbers rocket.
When do you piss off to Nihon?
Thursday morning.
Thursday morning. How long's that travel day looking? Is this a 30-hour job?
It's not great. It's like the first flight's at like 5 in the morning from Edinburgh, or something like that. Maybe 6, and then I don't get into Japan until like 7 in the morning the next day.
Oh, nice! Then you need to stay up all day.
Exactly, which is it's going to be a nightmare for the kid because she's like, it's the first time I'm going with the family, so it'll essentially.
Sorry, Chris, there's a dog here. That's the podcast
dog
over.
Has appeared. Silent Hill 2 secret ending has
the
appeared.
patrons are just plummeting at the moment.
I'm just introducing Chris's replacement.
It'll talk more sense.
Liable to give a similar performance.
Yeah.
For those just in the audio only version, we've been joined by a canine.
There's a dog.
A devil dog.
Yeah. So you're saving up for you're going to try and keep a small child up for 7 in the morning to when?
We're hoping she naps at least because we won't be able to check into her hotel until 2 or 3 anyway, I'd imagine. So as long as she can stay awake until we at least get to the hotel, then
what are you doing with the bag? What are you doing with the bags? All that time?
They'll let us. The hotel will let us keep our bags there, and then we'll check in.
This is the dance, mate. This is the routine. You land at 7 in the morning, and then you have to sleep on that flight, or you're going to be screwed.
Yeah,
you're going to have to go and leave all your bags with your hotel, and then walk around the least disorientating city in the world.
Yeah, so we'll get there.
That's sarcasm, by the way.
I know. But once we're done with day one, we'll be fine. I've deliberately given us a couple of days of doing not a lot before we do the whole Disneyland pattern and all that. So we'll get there. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to the travel, but I'm looking forward to finally getting there. And you know what it's like. It's different when you see it through your family's eyes.
Get some melatonin, mate.
It's all good.
Get some of Andy's sweaty sweets out of his translucent bag that he handed you.
Get
some. I'll try and destroy some Monster Energy drinks.
We cannot emphasize to the readers enough how dodgy it looked for us getting on that plane when Andy just produced like a clear polythene bag of 5 red pills. And was, on you go, mate, on you go.
If I have one of these, I'm not having it now. He's like, no, have it later. I'm not going to hold a gummy for like 5 hours.
And then I got a front row seat as Chris.
I slept for 10 hours on that flight. 10 hours.
Those 2 flights were like the complete opposite to me because I couldn't sleep on the way over and I was KO'd like 90% of the time on the way back. That was the best flight ever. I
was so worried on the way over because you were playing your Switch and falling asleep. I was like, he's going to drop this and somebody's going to stand on it and it's going to be an absolute heartbreak hotel. But on the way back, that double decker, that's the stuff. I found out I'm on the double decker again on the way back for Pokemon and I'm going to be absolutely
I bet my flight is bloody Boeing, isn't it? If I just try and load the world's worst website, aka BritishAirways.com,
this podcast is sponsored by British Airways.
On GeoCities or Homestead, and it'd work better.
It's the fact that it's got a guest book at the bottom and a under construction gift.
Couple of gifts.
I've been on fire.
Dancing baby.
It's got a web ring. Andy, how are you?
Depending on whether or not this says Boeing or Airbus, I'll give you a response.
TBC.
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm a bit tired as well, to be honest.
It's your first full appearance since we won the Champions League. You only popped in for 5 seconds last week, didn't you? Where's the trophy now?
I had to go to the sports day.
Yeah,
I had to go to the sports day afterwards, didn't I? Yeah.
Where's the trophy?
Where's the trophy? I don't know.
And the garden
somewhere.
The Doug's
I think when people win an Oscar and then they use it to prop their toilet door
in a box in the loft.
It's like that Simpsons joke. Oh, it's a Grammy.
No,
when he chucks it off the window.
Hey, it's an Airbus. I'm on an Airbus. Like,
congratulations.
Get in. We should do a flight podcast.
That's every off topic. Planes. It's every single off topic. We talk about Avios. We talk about British Airways. We need to become. I've started getting into these YouTubers that do like, I went on the most expensive flight in the world, and they do like the Emirates residence and stuff like that, and yeah, it's what a life to live. Yeah, it's been a weird week. I've been off to celebrate my birthday, which is on Sunday. More on that later. But I've really been doing hee-haw, and the speed with which the week goes when you're doing nothing is really sad. You don't appreciate it until it's done. But
it's one of those ones you hit Thursday and you go, oh shit.
Yeah, can't believe it's Thursday.
Yeah,
That's like
it's not good. Yeah,
But one excellent thing that happened this week is that I found Lando Norris Monster Energy, a brand new entry. And honestly, I've already had one of these the other night. One of the best things I've ever tasted, because speaking of Japan, it is a very Japanese flavour. And if I were to tell you that this is a Japanese flavour, what would you think based on the colour?
Yuzu.
Correct. It's yuzu and melon.
What is yuzu?
Oh, like a Japanese lime.
It's unbelievable, John. This is the best monster they've put out in a long, long time. I love melonade. I've made this perfectly clear beforehand. I love melon-flavoured Japanese sweets. Every sweet you get in Japan, I don't know why I'm doing Trump hands, but every sweet you get in Japan is melon.
I love the melon.
Every sweet. They say they need more melons. I tell them not enough yuzu. It's so nice, and there's something about it that's it's not too carbonated. It stays cold for so long. So Sam B, official VGC historian, put this top of the chart because it really doesn't get any better. Chris, you made an industrial sized order, didn't you?
Well, I'm bored looking for my favourite monster, because it turns out my favourite monster is very hard to get. No one stocks it. And that monster in question is the Doctor, sponsored by Valentino Rossi, the MotoGP racer for some reason. You can rarely get this in the shops. So I went to yourcoca-cola.co.uk and ordered 3 crates of it so that I never need to go.
Do you know what? I'm going on Deliveroo right now, and I'm going to get the weirdest monster I can find. Because I haven't got anything. I'm going to stick it on the Discord for any of the Patreon backers. I'm going to stick in whatever I buy.
It will be some ridiculous Bossman shop, and it'll cost you £45.
It's going to be the classic white can.
Yeah, £9 delivery fee.
We should have taken a start off of Death Stranding. The fact that he's not done more of the collaborations with Monster. It's just Cairo T.
For all we know, mate, he's just announcing them on the day of release, isn't he?
That's true. So this is a bizarre situation where me and Andy played 100 million hours of Death Stranding 2.
I've basically played this game twice.
Yeah, and now that the game is out, he's just suddenly like, oh yeah, there's Domino stuff in it, and there's Pac-Man stuff in it, and there's all this other stuff that wasn't in it in the review period. It's really bizarre. Also, if you've not watched this and you're going to play it, don't watch any of the last 3 trailers he's put out, because it spoils most of the game in those trailers. It's a really
don't watch anything Hideo Kojima publishes.
Yeah.
He's got a weird, I don't know, maybe it's a movie thing, because that's quite standard in the film industry, right? I mean, maybe maybe we've become so kind of desensitized that if you got an outsider, they go, well, you talk a lot about your podcast about games not selling, and you don't advertise them. For movies, they will put a trailer out and make it, this looks awesome, right? They will show you the sum of its parts, even if they're spoiling the hell out of it. And then you go and watch it. So maybe there is some sense to it. The thing that always comes to mind for me is one of my favorite films ever is Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
And the trailer was nothing like the movie. The movie was a complete surprise. You went in, but then nobody watched it. So not useful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose it's devoid of context. One of the final shots of the game is in the trailer, but it doesn't really... if you don't know what's happening.
The final boss is in one of the trailers. And not a recent trailer either. Usually as a reviewer, we're really we're really blessed to be able to play this stuff completely spoiler-free. You don't realise what it's how much you are spoiled as a consumer until you get to experience that. Even in general, reviews are a spoiler, the consensus. Everyone's saying this is amazing, right? You've kind of gone in with expectations. Then you're not going in completely impartial. But his trailers, man, there's very little big beats in that game that aren't in a trailer.
Like you say though, Jordan, it is context. If that trailer doesn't specifically say this is the final boss, then people won't know until they get to it, and it will take away from it slightly, because they'll be like, all right, that was from the trailer. but at least they're not like. At least they don't know when it's coming. They don't know it's actually.
So what is sold? I'm on Deliveroo. What the hell is this? Monster Energy Lewis Hamilton edition.
So that is it's like a blue and yellow can.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's the predecessor to this. It's okay. I can't remember the flavor off the top of my head, but it's a decent one. It's a
what about Monster Energy Bad Apple?
Bad Apple is it tastes like appetizer. It's like carbonated apple juice.
Oh, that sounds good. What about Ultra Gold?
Ultra Gold's pineapple flavored. It's okay. I love pineapple juice, and I don't particularly like that one. It's not one of the top tiers.
Do you want sugar or do you want non-sugar? Like, do you want sugar-free?
Ideally non-sugar.
Because Bad Apple's sugary.
Yeah.
But basically, if it says juiced on the can or what's the other one, mixed, then it's going to have sugar in it.
Ultra and Zero are the sugar-free.
Ultra.
This is actually unbelievable.
That's my mate Chris. I'm going to get him to do an intro for us.
You should.
VGC podcast.
Context breaker.
Yeah, we should turn this. We should turn all like the intros in this podcast into like Vice City style radio, because when we were in America, like it strikes you how much GTA radio just sounds like real American radio. We need that kind of thing. VGC podcast, cast.
With the mix.
Thank you to the VGC Maniacs and our Patreon backers on patreon.com/Video Games Chronicle, including brand new season ticket holder Vicious and Tanner Santos, Serkan Toto, Shay Dougal, Matt Huggins, Martimus Prime, Ryan Cabane, Sam Biggs, Ginger Jotun, Mark Edmonds, and our mysterious benefactor, the director, Kira. If you're interested in signing up, patreon.com/Video Games Chronicle for extra podcasts, videos, etc. Chris, this week, put up the latest CVG. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, our retro series Chatting Vintage Games. The acronym is coincidental.
Really lucky with that.
It was. I didn't even think of it. Yeah. And this month we've been speaking about the original brief was karting games. Until my two esteemed guests who joined me on the podcast said we don't want to talk about anything but Mario Kart.
Or listen to you talk about niche park.
It very quickly became a Mario Kart and a wee bit of Diddy Kong Racing. So I'm afraid Biker Mice from Mars will have to wait for another one. But no, it was good. It was really good. Like hour and a half chat about the Mario series. Plenty of arguments about Mario Kart World as well as a wee bonus.
I was going to say, if you want to listen to Mike Jackson viciously overrate Mario Kart World, then get on CVG.
It's weird because it was very much the Goldilocks scenario where Andy was absolutely destroying it. Mike was saying it was the greatest thing ever, and I'm sitting in the middle kind of going, it's good. Yeah. So if you want the full gamut of emotions around Mario Kart World, wrapped around our retrospective of the entire series, including me trying my very best to defend the arcade games, then get fired in. It's on our Patreon.
Mike bleeds Nintendo. He's like, he's one of these, if he wasn't a part of the games media for when he was, he'd be that Donny that was always at Oxford Street, the first person to buy the Wii. Yeah, definitely. God love him. Okay, story number 1. Strap in for this. Dbrand is sending improved Switch 2 grips to all customers after a spectacularly terrible response to detaching claims. Now, this is a hell of a story, so strap in. Peripheral manufacturer Dbrand has provided customers with an update on its ongoing Switch 2 Kill Switch saga. If you're not familiar, the Kill Switch is a Switch 2 case, and the kind of the selling point is that it has like big grips on it and it's pretty solid. However, people were reporting the fact that it made the Joy-Cons detach from the Switch 2, which is unfortunate. In response to this, Dbrand said that nobody held their Switch 2 in a way that made the Joy-Cons actually detached, to which a lot of people were saying, yes, we do. So now the company has said that after reading your feedback, it is quite clear that our post was a spectacularly terrible response to the issue at hand. Some of you have expressed that opinion in a perfectly reasonable way. Others have expressed it with literal death threats, citation needed. We're not clear on how that... This is a really... I'm editorializing here. This is a really smarmy statement, and I don't know why they're still going with this. We're not clear on how this went from a problem we need to address to this is the worst company to ever exist. I don't think anyone was actually saying that. But we acknowledge that every complaint we received is underpinned by a problem that is solely that we are alone responsible for solving. As easy as it is to boil down our original post to "you're holding it wrong," What we're sober to now is the point that you should be allowed to hold it however the F you want without detachment occurring. We get it. Please continue dunking on us for the next 6 to 8 months and for reincarnating Steve Jobs. Pause right there. Andy, you have one of these things? One of these?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
Well, I mean, initially it was pretty good, right? I mean, Dbrand stuff, it's usually like, I was going to say high quality. It's usually like the presentation's very, very good, right? Comes in a nice box, and comes with, they don't skimp on the stuff that they include. And so my initial impressions on this thing were it comes with 2 screen protectors, and they're excellent. Very easily to put on. It's one of those like plastic things that you put over, and then it's like it comes with like a whole scaffolding, so you're not pissing about with trying to line it up and whatever. It's very easy to apply. Yeah, and it came with 2, which is useful. So that was good. The grips, the Joy-Con, like the sort of like rubber things that you put over the Joy-Con, which is the key to the issue here. Super comfortable. Like way more comfortable than the stock Switch. Like I actually didn't realize how uncomfortable I was finding the stock Switch until I started using these. They're very, very good. So what I did is I put them. My daughter's got a Switch 2. I gave her one of mine, and
one from the box.
Yeah.
You've only got 5 left.
Yeah. And the others I just leave outside for tramps to fight over. Great. But I took the Dbrand off, right? Apart from the screen protector, I took it off. It comes with like a nice, like, it comes with like a back that goes on the back, that clips on the back to protect the back of the console. There's even a thing that like sticks onto the kickstand to protect that. So it's nice. It's good. It's nice. But the killer for me was, so this is on my daughter's Switch, and she's trying to put it in the dock to play. And every morning I come down and it's like, why is the Switch like hanging out? I think, I can't put it in the dock. The dock doesn't work. So because it's obviously you're increasing the size of the unit, it won't fit in the standard dock. So it comes with a sort of adapter that sort of sits on the side of the dock. Like it connects, it kind of sits, that's the only way I can explain it. It sits on the side of the dock. So it's just got a flimsy, like USB-C connector. And it's really difficult, especially for a child, to connect this thing to it. Even myself, like, it's a pain in the ass. Like the standard dock, you just slap the thing in, it sort of guides its way towards the input. And it became so irritating, I just took the whole thing off.
Yeah.
But, I've not actually sat there trying to bend those Joy-Cons to get them smaller. Because I think the issue is, for anyone who's played Switch 2 Welcome Saw.
What a game.
What an instruction manual. They purposely left a small gap between the Joy-Con and the unit so that there's some room for flex, like if you're bending it each way, so that it wouldn't like sort of snap it at the magnets, like get away from the magnets. I understand that that's the issue, is that these grips kind of fill that area, and then so if you apply a certain pressure to them, there's a chance that they'll just come off.
Yeah.
So yeah, good that they're dealing with it. Because my issue with the Docker side, I thought it's a pretty nice accessory, but it does feel like they put these statements out, on purpose, right?
Yeah,
it's like, this is not the first time or the second time or the third time, they've done something like this. So, and they get lots of press attention about it as well. You've got to think at this stage that there's some cynicism attached to it.
That's the thing. When you're a brand who's when the brand gimmick is that we're kind of rebellious, we kind of slag everybody off. We're the kind of the 4chan of peripheral manufacturers. When like every company inevitably eventually has a product which has an issue with it, and when that is your brand, and then you have to actually address the customer base rather than because usually they're slagging off Nintendo or they're slagging off Sony, and people like that, some people, because they're like, they're sticking it to the man.
Yeah.
But then when they actually have to address the customers instead, they have to, do they double down and still play the smart arse role, or do they say, actually, yeah, okay, fair enough,
don't back down, double down.
So initially they did double down, and they were, so it was the whole nobody holds it like this, and they did like a really long video showing all the million different ways you can hold it, and people basically with backlash basically said, listen, some people do, because their argument was that for a visual aid here for people watching the video, their argument is that everybody holds their Switch with the hands protecting the back of the Switch, and if you hold it with your fingers not touching the back of the Switch and hold it kind of parallel to the ground, that's what causes it to fall apart. And they were saying nobody holds it like that, but people were pointing out, well, some young kids, their fingers can't reach to the back of the Switch. Some kids do play it just holding the Joy-Cons, and when they hold it flat, if they're in bed or whatever, that's what's causing it. So yeah, they doubled down and basically said, nobody does this, you're all trying to make it happen. And everyone said, wait a minute. And
who's purposefully trying to break their £500 console after it just came out?
But I mean, I play it in bed sometimes, and I play it face down, and like if I scratch my, well, listen, I didn't play the Switch, but like if I go one-handed and scratch my nose or something, or
and then you play the Switch.
Listen. Not every game has been removed from the eShop yet. But yeah, so or in other situations, they if you hold it one-handed briefly, scratching your nose or reaching for a tissue, then it can fall apart.
Christ.
So listen, it's hay fever season.
It is. It's terrible at the minute.
So yeah, it's an issue for people. It's an issue for it, and they should address that and say, instead of being arseholes about it. And it sounds like they have kind of eventually, even still with a bit of snark though, because they're still giving it. Can't believe this has turned into such a big thing. It's like, well, it has just.
We're the worst company in the world. Sorry, it's like, mate, just take less Dbrand, more take the L brand. Am I right? No. The conclusion
less
to this
D-bag, more Dbrand.
I actually still want one of these. Like it was Johnny Australia Scallop who first said, when I was moaning about the Switch being uncomfortable, that those are the solution, and then Andy was like, before this all kicked off, like, yeah, this is actually much more comfortable. So I do want something like that. I want Hori to hurry up and release theirs, because I always like their stuff. But yeah, weird. Story number 2. Mario Kart World producer, it didn't seem necessary to add characters from other Nintendo games. The producer of the Mario Kart series has said that there are no crossover characters in Mario Kart World because it wasn't necessary. He was asked about this and reportedly laughed and said absolutely not when questioned on why they didn't add crossover characters. As developers, it would have seemed incongruous for us to add characters from other games into this universe. And it didn't seem necessary, given everything we can already do with Mario. We inevitably wonder how many players will perceive this cast, but there are so many characters and so many costumes that every player is sure to find something they like. Chris, this is gutting for me. I always want Mario Kart to become Super Smash Kart, and it seems like 8 was very much going that way, and now they're like, see Splatoon and Zelda and Animal Crossing people, sack them. Here's a niche character from Super Mario Brothers in a car. Please clap.
Like, I'm the biggest Mario fan you will find, and even some of those characters, I'm like, did anyone really want the crab? Did anyone really want the crab? Oh, I knew who they were, but I'm like, did anyone really want the crab from Mario Brothers Arcade? Yeah. Like, I get Cow and I get Penguin. Those are funny, but there's a lot of, like, I mean, I've even got a soft spot for Charging Chuck, as I'm sure many do. But there are some in there.
Charging Chuck's, you can put Charging Chuck in a game. People know Charging Chuck.
Aye, exactly. It's one of the earliest Super Mario World enemies. But there's some stuff in there, like really, like crap ones that only appear a couple of times in like New Super Mario Brothers, like the big stupid ostrich thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, But so I don't buy the argument, especially when he says there's so many characters and so many costumes. Like, most of those don't have costumes.
Yeah.
There's just this is a tangent, but we could talk about this maybe later in another time. That character select screen is the worst piece of UI Nintendo's ever created.
I don't get it at all. Why aren't the costumes for the characters just on a drop down from the characters themselves? Like,
somebody's not played the latest Zelda game.
Well, yeah, true, but
Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, when you bring up the echoes, yeah. But like, it's mental that there's a button that just says sort, and you press that, and it puts like 9 Mario costumes on one page. You're like, thanks very much. and then you press the button again to unsort it, and it just randomly scatters them. It's just like, what are you doing? But yeah, you're right. Like, 8 had already solved it when you chose a character and the drop down would appear. Like, I'm hoping there'll be an update soon which brings that back, because it's
8 solves a lot of things that Mario Kart World has screwed up. Speaking of, it's not on the list, but what's this? I only saw this in a Slack message. What's this situation about them breaking the online races that people liked?
So, you know, Mario Kart World has most of the races are point to point, where you drive from one track to the next, and then your last lap is a single lap of that track.
You drive through featureless abyss to get to the actual track that you want to play.
There's 30 like locations in the game in the open world, and each one of those does have a 3-lap race. It's just that most of those races you have to choose in versus mode or something.
Right.
When you play online, usually when you play online a versus race, you get 3 options, and it's 3 of those, what the people are called intermission tracks. So it's 3 options of this track to here, this track to there, or this track to there.
Okay.
But some people don't like them. It used to be you could choose random, and if you chose random, it would pick any of the 3-lap races. So people cottoned on to this, and you got to the point where when you'd start a Mario Kart online game, everyone was choosing random, because everyone just wanted a 3-lap race instead. And with the latest update, they've now added the checkpoint, the races to random as well. So now there's no way of guaranteeing a 3-lap race.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Frustrating, but
what's going on with this game?
That was very nerdy.
No,
it's weird. Like, I love so much about it, but then there's so much about it that feels very non-Nintendo. And it's like, if people are obviously the online community, you always get people online going, "Oh, this is classic Nintendo." It's like, but it's not. Like it's not classic Nintendo. Like it's odd that a UI would look that weird. It's odd that they would have this big kind of open world and not have like proper tracking. Stuff
it's like I said on our karting pod on the Patreon. It's just so much of it just feels weirdly half baked.
Yeah,
like the issue for me is that I played Donkey Kong, by the way, the other day, and that's all I can say.
I hear the embargo is 2 days before the game comes out. That's a bit scary for
I screwed that up. Ignore me. July the 1st. But when I played Donkey Kong the first time, the tour, the kind of Switch 2 tour, it's the same issue I had with that as I have with Mario Kart. Is it feels weird. Like there's lots of like very un-Nintendo things about it. Like in the past, Nintendo or certain Mr. Miyamoto, if he was in charge, would not have allowed characters to go in there if they don't have unlockable costumes. Like it just wouldn't allow it. It's a weird inconsistency that Nintendo games, like a good game, the difference between a good game and a great game is that a great game is that everything connects with everything else, right? It's a synergy of ideas. Whereas in this, you can be a cow and pick up like the Yoshi's Diner item, and it just doesn't do anything. And it doesn't tell you why it doesn't do anything. It just doesn't do anything. And for the vast majority of characters, it doesn't do anything because they haven't got any costumes. So it's strange, right? Some characters have got like 10 costumes. Other ones, like Donkey Kong, have got 1. It's just the whole thing is really, it feels weirdly un-Nintendo in some ways.
The costume thing is the oddest thing for me. I don't understand the logic behind it. Why someone like, I think someone like you said, Donkey Kong's got 1 costume just now, and I'm guessing there's DLC to come soon for Bonanza. But the fact that some characters, and then like Daisy, who's objectively the worst character in Mario history, has like 8 costumes.
Hell yeah, Daisy.
It's just it seems so arbitrary and so random.
Yeah,
I don't understand why everyone has the same number, doesn't have the same number of costumes, because that would make sense. And it would certainly make the character selection screen more like kind of. It's odd that Mario's got 10 costumes and there's a 12 slots in the character select screen, which just looks ugly. Yeah. When you unlock all 10, it's like here's 10 Marios and 2 Luigis. And then you go to the next screen, it's like here's the other 7 Luigis and a few Peaches. It's like, this is horrible. It just looks. It's not the kind of clean thing you would expect from Nintendo. So I'm hoping in time you'll get. They'll update it and update it and update it. And I'm hoping that they'll fix these things in the future. But for now, it's like it's odd. It's odd. I'm expecting Donkey Kong free costumes and maybe a young
Donkey Kong 3.
Not free. Free. I'm expecting like a free update to drop that adds Bonanza costumes and maybe like Kid Pauline.
Yeah,
in a couple of weeks, so that would make sense.
That would then
get people excited because then they'd go, oh well, maybe who knows when they're next going to drop stuff like just out of nowhere for this game. So I'm hoping that's what happens.
Andy, we talked about this last week. Now that it's been like 3 weeks with the Switch 2, are you finding yourself drawn to picking it up and playing it? Like, I know we've been in Death Stranding kind of mode for a while, but what's your thoughts on it now that it's actually in the house?
I mean, it's probably the same as most new consoles, right? I really like it, but I've not got much to play on it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking forward to Donkey Kong and having to go on that. It's. I mean, I start Mario Kart, but it's like Mario Kart like sort of like gives me the itch and then doesn't scratch it. You know, so, oh, this looks so great. I want to go and explore, and then you do it, and I don't know where I'm going, and it's not really rewarding me for finding stuff, and it's so I find that a little bit frustrating. But to your point, yeah, for us, you know, they obviously didn't have any reviews for Switch 2. So usually I'd be here on this podcast as the de facto Mario Kart expert, you know, would have rinsed it pre-release, but so they didn't have that. And then Summer Game Fest was the day it came out, you know, so we were swamped for a week. And then Death Stranding 2, we had that as well. So I was playing that. So I've not really had much time. I mean, my kids have just been playing Animal Crossing on it.
You should get them on Death Stranding too. You see the ha and the ka when it comes together. It's really... Chris, Death Stranding 2.
I would not waste my time with it.
It's a fantastic game. It's a really, really great game.
I don't doubt it, but I
actually think Chris would really like Death Stranding 2.
Again, I
think
if it had Mario in it.
Mario and his Princess Beach. Yeah.
I'm up for it, but it seems like the sort of game where I'd probably have to play one because it sounds like
everyone keeps saying that. No,
you don't.
Because here's the thing: it's like poor, sweet, naive people who are like, should I play the first game so I understand the story?
Yeah,
you won't understand the story.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the thing. Yeah, I suppose that's the point.
I finished the first game again, like a second time, the week before I went and played it at Kojima Productions. I didn't know what was going on.
There's previously on.
I finished it twice. I played Death Stranding 2 nearly twice, and I still stuff I don't know. Like, who was that guy? What was he doing?
There's a on the main menu. There's a previously on Death Stranding, and it sounds like the person reading it doesn't understand what he's talking about. It's really good.
It's not very good. It's not very good either. That catch up, like just watch a YouTube vid. No, don't. But honestly, if I was reading all the stuff about Death Stranding 2 and I was excited to play it, and then I went and played Death Stranding 1 in preparation, that would put me off bothering to get to 2.
Yeah,
like you don't need to play 1.
All right, I'll put 2 on the backlog then.
You should get it on that backlog.
I'll play it in 2038
when you've got a spare 80 hours to finish it. We've got a review podcast up for that, the review, and we've also got my review Q&A on patreon.com/video games chronicle. I'm still playing it. Hell of a game. I want to get 5 stars with all the preppers, which there was something that happened last night, and I texted Andy being like, have you played this bit? Because I hadn't seen it in like at this point nearly 100 hours, and he was like, I thought that was the main mission, and I'd completely gone past it. Like, the game's full of stuff.
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
Loads of stuff like that. Yeah, it's really
crazy.
Good.
Okay, after the break, we will be chatting Xbox cuts, a few quickie stories, and then official VGC quizmaster Kron has prepared a quiz for us. So we'll see you in a minute. And we are back. Andy, any update on what monster you decided to go with?
I've not ordered anything. I'm going to walk around the shop. That's
wise. Like, ordering an energy drink from Deliveroo is
$5.99 delivery.
It's a bit exuberant.
I know, because it's going to be like a £5 delivery charge or something like that. It seems unnecessary.
Big shout out to patreon.com/video games chronicle for that. Next story. Microsoft is reportedly planning another round of major job cuts at its Xbox division. This comes from Bloomberg, which cites sources familiar to the plans. Apparently, these layoffs will come next week as part of company-wide reorganization. Bloomberg previously reported that Microsoft plans to cut thousands of jobs, mostly consisting of salespeople, but now it appears the gaming division will also be affected. It's the 4th major round of Xbox layoffs in the past 18 months. Since this story has been written, several people have taken to social media to suggest that the cuts will be significant and that entire studios are potentially at risk. Andy, this seems like it's going to be very bad. Like, very bad.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I haven't got much to say on this other than it's kind of unfortunate that this is out in the press and is going to drag on over the weekend, the speculation and stuff. I don't have any additional details to add to that from other than what I'm hearing. There's a lot of negativity coming out of the UK studios, understandably, because a lot of them don't know what's going on. A lot of them are expecting, the worst. This is going to drag well into next week. I think it's their fiscal year ends. I think their business year ends this month. So, yeah, it's not sounding particularly good. I think really we should digest it when we know the details, because I don't want to get
speculate.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I also don't want to let myself be angry about it until we actually know what's going on. I mean, they're like one of the biggest companies in the world. This is particularly usual to them. It's it's kind of frustrating. But they're massively pivoting, right? This is the new Xbox. They've spent billions and billions, for trying to build a business that has now drastically changed. From what I can see, they're trying to be a PC company, right?
Yeah.
Their handheld PC, Xbox, it's a PC. There's lots of people having a hoo-ha today about their PC launcher that has PlayStation games on it. It's just a PC launcher.
Yeah.
If you're in that world, you need, certainly in a world where you're releasing all your games on PlayStation 5 for a start, you don't need to be quite as aggressive with your exclusive content, right? And it's always, for a company of that size, is going to be about profit margins. We've seen how ruthless they were with the Hi-Fi Rush guys.
Yeah.
One of the best games they released in years, that game. It makes you think all sorts, right?
More on this when we have specific details, but we just wanted to highlight that this is a real sideways pivot from that. But Chris, get excited. Dragon Drive is out on August 14th. That part of it's boring. However, it's only $16.99. What's that all about?
That's worrying.
Yeah.
What's
this going to be?
What it is. Because when I played it at the preview event for Switch 2, I was like, this is cool. Like, it works really well. The controls are great. Like the wheelchair control. So you're not allowed to say wheelchair, apparently, according to Nintendo. The vehicle handles really well. Like, the only thing I didn't like about it, which seems to be the issue with people playing Rematch just now as well, is that nobody passed.
Yep.
And if nobody's passing the ball, then it becomes an exercise in frustration. But as a proof of concept, it worked really well. But my preview said, if this is it, like, that's not great. Is there going to be more courts? Are there going to be other modes than just 3-on-3 or whatever it was? Will there be a single player? Blah 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 blah. If it's only $16.99, that lends me to believe there's not a lot to it. So
twice as much gameplay as Welcome Tour. You've got to be excited about that.
That's true. Well, I don't doubt it. But I'm cautiously optimistic about how it's going to play, but I'm slightly concerned about how much meat is going to be on its bones. Whether I'm still going to be playing it 2 weeks after release.
2 days after release.
So we'll see.
Let me tell you, Metroid better be out in September, and I need to get I hope Donkey Kong's good, but obviously Donkey Kong, the pre-release impressions are maxed. I'm not going to get this. Pokemon's in October, so get Metroid out in September. Don't make me wait till November, because I presume Kirby will be in November or December, and I'm not really asked about that. But yeah, this is a really, really odd one. Big shout out, Dragon Drive. Are they doing an amiibo? Are you getting a wheelchair amiibo?
Certainly hope so.
Yeah, that'll be more expensive than the game.
Although the Donkey Kong amiibo was relatively reasonably priced, like the Street Fighter amiibo were like 25 quid or something.
Jesus, for what?
For a wee toy. But the Donkey Kong ones are like 16. The Donkey Kong 1, I should say. So, and it is genuinely good.
16.90.
The Donkey Kong amiibo is good.
Yeah. Quick story number 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. Sega's putting down roots. It's opening a store right across to the Nintendo store in Japan. Chris, you must be pissing your knickers that it's not going to be open while you're there.
Is it not though?
I don't think. I thought it was later.
They've not announced any details.
Oh.
People have seen like construction work and Shibuya
You're going to be booting the door off.
I know. So it's like, I know me and Andy both know exactly where this location is. It's like it's the best bit when you go to Shibuya. It's like up the 6th floor of this mall, and it's got the Nintendo store. It's got the Pokemon Center, across the big Mewtwo. It's got a Capcom store. It's got stuff like
is that where it is? I know the Mewtwo one well. I've watched many of vlogs, so it's right there.
That one. It's that one. So, and I've looked at the map. It looks like it's in the corner, round from those. So apart, by all accounts, there's like a wall over it just now saying coming soon, and it's got like in Sega writing. So basically, it comes down to how quickly that's going to get built. Whether it appears by the end of July is basically the touch point for me, because it's not going to be there next week, but hopefully in a couple of weeks' time.
A pile of Sonic pish.
Otherwise, they're going to open it like 2 weeks after I leave, and I'll just like be raging. Andy will go instead.
Oh, he'll be there, front of the line, buying the big Sonic that used to be in Alton Towers.
Going anywhere near Shibuya Parko. It's not what it used to be, mate.
Listen, that's old Shibuya Parko veteran.
Gaijin.
Back when I was serving in Nam and went to Shibuya Parko.
Back before their tourism hadn't increased by something like 200% in the last 5 years. It's like, if you want to go and queue to go into a Nintendo store and buy whatever tea-towel they've got left, it's rubbish. It's absolutely rubbish. Go to any other Nintendo store in the country. The Shibuya Parko stores are not fun.
Speaking of tea-towels, John, have you seen the new Pikachu Diner collection being added to the Pokemon Center stores on the 5th of July? Which is the day I'm going.
Oh, really? Well, I hope you've got a big suitcase.
It's always like aprons and stuff based on 50s American diners, but with Pikachu on them.
Really? Well, they've actually been quite good about getting a lot of that stuff over to the UK and US stores. Like right now, I can pick up a Sphere sculpted mug for only $19.99. So I really can't wait to go next year, but it's going to be. I'm going to have to rein it in somewhat, because I can't just go and spend $1,000 the first day and then it'll be humped for the rest of it. But I'll be
especially
going
where the exchange rate is just now as well. The exchange rate's still pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty much exactly 200 yen to a pound right now, which is decent. But like 5 years ago, I think it was significantly worse than that.
Yeah, it's the best it's been in
a long time.
Certainly my memory.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
stuff that used to be like 160 quid is now like 100 quid. Like over the course of 5 years, it's dropped that much. So yeah, I'm concerned about how much, because like when I went, I was like 2 cases worth, but now there's 3 of us going, and the kids Splatoon mad, so we're probably going to rinse that bit.
Just tell her there's no Splatoon stuff. They've discontinued it.
I've been reporting in the news that Splatoon has died.
Yeah,
God rest it.
Get her really into Raido. I think that's probably the next move. Raido! Hopefully the Sega store's open in time for you to get the Raido Collector's Edition.
I can't wait. Donkey Kong comes out the day I'm at the Nintendo Museum.
So do you think he'll be there celebrating?
I think he'll be there, him and Diddy, smoking a big Jeffrey, like celebrating the launch of the game. So I'm looking forward to that.
They look down upon that in Japan severely. They can't be smoking the Jeffreys out there.
Well, that's true.
Hopefully when you go, Miyamoto will still be in his tower high above the Nintendo Museum.
His ivory tower.
Yeah.
Throwing barrels at people.
Do you know if it's changed since last time Andy was there, if they've added more shite?
Well, frustratingly, I think they've added a Switch 2 bit, but it's literally just here's, but it's literally just here's the console. Yeah. There's nothing. But frustratingly, like a month or two after I've been, they're opening an art gallery.
Great.
With like development art and all that. I was like, well, that's exactly the sort of stuff I was hoping to see.
Yeah.
But they're adding that after, like in like September or something.
Just going to ask if you can see it. If you're polite to them, they'll let you in.
I'll say hello. Is Mr. Miyamoto around?
Yeah.
I was hoping to see a wee bit of cheeky concept art of Nintendogs. if we could share it.
No, going by the amount of effort, well, the amount of insider quality is offered by the rest of the museum, it's probably just going to be some renders off of their press site.
It'll just be,
there you go. With no artist listed.
Yeah.
It'll be that picture of Mario standing like that from the Wii days that you would always see.
Please check the credits of this piece of art if you want to find out who wrote it. I want Miyamoto having drawn Donkey Kong on the back of a fag packet and put that in the museum.
He'll do the usual thing where Miyamoto draws a picture of Mario, and it'll just have a message saying, "Congratulations, Nintendo Museum."
Yeah,
like it always does for everything.
Do you think it will be like you know how in Disneyland when they have all the pictures of Walt Disney, they Photoshop the cigarettes out of his hand? Do you think they'll have to do that for Miyamoto one day?
Replace them with Jeffries.
Episode title: Miyamoto smokes the Jeffries. Oh, I want to go there as well, but is it not like is it still a total nightmare to get? Every time you two talk about anything with Japan, it's like, I was up for 5 a.m. and I had to do arcane spells to get an appointment.
What, you talk about Tokyo, Disney?
No, the museum. I'm not asked about Disney. I want to go in the
museum's still
museum.
A lottery system.
I'm not going to win that. I'm simply not.
Just speak to me, mate. I'll sort you.
Yeah.
I'll sort
Have you been to Japan?
No, I know how to get you into the Nintendo Museum.
Yeah. With force.
There's a green pipe just outside it.
A green pipe, if you know what I'm saying.
Aye.
Legalise it.
Jeffrey, I believe they call him.
Jeffrey's the name of the security guard. Hold on, mate. It's Jeffrey. Andy, the VGC Maniacs will be thrilled to know that you're also going to Japan. Shock horror. Is it not going to be 40 billion degrees again when you're going?
Yeah. It's not nice. Well, it's going to be same for Chris. It's not going to be like much cooler.
You're going to be sweating your stabs.
Is it not worse in July than August?
Well, yeah, it's worse, but it's like going, it's 40 degrees and now it's 42.
Yeah.
It's still going to be absolutely horrific. It's the humidity. It's going to be absolutely horrific. I have got like a small robot's worth of cooling accessories, and I figured out last year which ones are the best. I've got like a big, the thing I got in a Summer Game Fest.
Oh, the thing
it's like
that goes up your jumper.
It's like a belt. It's got like it's an elastic belt, and you wear it on your waist, and it blows up your shirt.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. I would not leave without it.
What about if you dabbled with Gatsby wipes? That's what I'm looking at this time.
You should be walking around wiping yourself.
No, but
like a filthy animal,
like a pantomime dame. Like,
as I understand it. As I understand it, applying a Gatsby wipe lasts a couple of hours.
I just like to take a small bucket of water around with me and occasionally just dip my head in.
You're right. It's exactly the same thing. You're right.
Chris likes to stop in the middle of the street and do an ice bucket challenge just to cool down.
Listen, ALS is an important. I can't believe you're on air here making fun of the ALS.
I'm only making fun of Chris Gull. You don't worry.
Can't believe it. God rest every one of them.
Yeah.
No, but I'm going to be like basically chain smoking the drinks machines. So it's like planning a route Mario Kart knockout tour style from vending machine to vending.
There's nothing you can do about it. It's just really. No. I mean, I've obviously I've gone a lot more for work recently, but in terms of because me and my family have always kind of like gone vacation there occasionally. We go a lot more now. We're fortunate enough to be able to do that.
Thanks, Patreon.
But, well, no, it's absolutely not thanks, Patreon. I can give Patreon my credit card bill if they want. But until recently, because we've always go in the summer because we have to, the school holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was only recently, a couple of years ago, that I went in April and saw what it's like outside of the heat, and you're like, oh my God. Like you actually can go and do stuff.
Yeah.
And that's just the gist of it, is that you can't really spend much time outside in that heat. It's like that ridiculous. You're just like, you're, being couriered between air conditioned buildings.
Yeah.
Well, we're only at Disney for the 4 days, so I'm sure that'll be fine.
You're jumping into Splash Mountain.
Exactly. Is Bell's Castle open? We're roasting.
Right. Let's get on very quickly. PlayStation maintains it's not going to put its first-party games on PS Plus. Well, I'm not surprised, because first of all, they don't really release many of them, and secondly, I feel like they have something that a lot of other companies would love to have, which is Death Stranding 2 is the big game this week. Everyone's talking about it. It's like a proper big release, whereas I feel like a lot of other companies don't really get that focus anymore. They say adding 4 to 5 day one indie games per year is working really well. Chris, there's no reason for them to change this, is there?
There isn't yet, but let's wait and see how Marathon does.
But I can see Marathon.
Because there are some games where they should.
Yeah.
And if they're going to be stubborn about it, then it could cause issues. Like the last time they did it was when they backtracked with Destruction All-Stars.
Mm.
And even then that didn't work great, but they kind of started some ill will with that beforehand. And
that was absolute pish.
There's that as well. So you wonder if with Marathon they're going to do it with that, because
they'd be mental not to. I think they're making a distinction with their proper games, like like Yotai's not coming in it. I don't know why I'm going Geordie there. Yotai's not coming anywhere near it, lad. But yes, they're not going to do that. Now, this weekend's a very important weekend because it's my birthday. I'd originally decided to do a little quiz, like I've done on previous special episodes. However, I spoke to Kron, VGC's official quizmaster, and let me tell you, boys, he has provided one hell of a quiz.
I've also been told that I'm going to be angry about this quiz. So.
No doubt. Okay,
good.
Let's kick off. Are you ready?
Always.
I would like, if you're going to answer the question, just say stop to register that you're going to answer, and it's fastest finger first. June 29th, 1995, I am born. On the same day, this European release of a Taito-developed SNES home console release of a popular arcade title. The hint is, this title has two names, and the international title is Pretty Dashing.
Pretty Dashing.
Ridge Racer?
Didn't say stop. It's not Ridge Racer.
Stop.
It's not.
Ridge Racer.
Still not Ridge Racer.
It's a title.
A title developed.
You mean it was actually called Pretty Dashing somewhere?
No, the international title is Pretty Dashing. Right, so
it's not right. Okay.
Yeah. Some hint. Here's the answer.
I know, that's funny.
A title developed NES console release of this popular arcade title, June 29th, 1995.
So did you say SNES, yeah?
That's late for the SNES.
So it's not bloody Ridge Racer, that's it.
No, that's late for the SNES, so 95. And it's Taito.
Yeah.
Arcade.
Taito developed SNES home console release of this popular arcade title. This title has two names, and the international title is Pretty Dashing.
But Taito, I'm thinking Rainbow Islands, I'm thinking Parasol Stars. I'm clearly barking down the wrong tree with that. Is it well known?
Yeah. I recognised it, which is an arbiter of, I know hee-haw, but that's
you're going Space Invaders, you're going... Maybe I'm wrong.
If it's releasing on SNES in 1995 and from an arcade, it's got to be like a puzzle game or something. Arcade games are like full 3D at that point.
So is it going to be like a Puzzle Bobble?
Yeah,
Bust a move situation.
I'm not hearing the word I requested you to say before.
Stop. Is it going to be like Panda Pon?
Incorrect. Chris?
Stop. Is it Puzzle Bobble?
Correct. 1 point to Chris.
What's the Pretty Dashing all about?
You're welcome, by the way. You're welcome.
Thanks. Was the Pretty Dashing clue because it was called Bust a Move as well?
I have literally no idea.
It's outrageous.
Cron, 1 point off for you. That's 1-0 to Scullion. June 29th, 2000.
Really, though, is it?
On Jordan's 5th birthday, this iconic game received a Dreamcast port in the EU. In a GameSpot review, Jeff Gerstmann said of the port, quote, "Even if you own another version of the game, you'd be doing yourself a large disservice by missing out on the Dreamcast version. Sure, the gameplay may be the same, but the graphical enhancements made possible by Sega's hardware truly bring the game to an entirely new level."
Can I say I'm literally going up against the geezer who writes encyclopedias about old games?
So it's a port.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Go for it.
Quake 3 Arena.
Incorrect. The hint is Jordan never stops talking about this series.
Stop. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Correct. One each.
Have that encyclopedia.
The clue is literally a port.
2007. This game released for the Nintendo DS in January 2007. It features the character Melissa. January 2007.
What's your birthday going to do it?
Fucking shut up!
Okay.
This game, released for the Nintendo DS in January 2007, features the character Melissa Woodward, also born on June 29th. Chris Scullion rated it number 9 on his list of the 30 best DS games, stating, quote, "Never mind Michael Jackson or Princess Diana, the most tragic death of the past 30 years is this game's developer."
What was the character's name?
Again, another really fair question, this one, isn't it?
Melissa Woodward.
And it was released in 2007. Stop. Hotel Dusk.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, cheers. No, I look forward to the one that I've rated in my...
The death of Sing. What was my quote? I said Princess Diana. Did I
Never
seriously
mind.
compare the death of Sing to the death of Princess
Never
Diana?
mind Michael Jackson or Princess Diana, the most tragic
Interesting.
death of the past 30 years is this game's developer.
Interesting both.
June 29th, 2008, on Jordan's 13th birthday, this title released in the United States, one of 4 releases in this series in 2008 alone. I'm going to read this hint because it's quite necessary. This series would receive an additional 5 standalone releases in 2009, but only 1 standalone release in the following 6 years.
I know the series, I just don't know what game it is.
Kick it off and give Andy a massive hint.
I already know what it is.
You do know what it is?
I know
I've
what
not
the series
stopped.
is.
Well, you might as well fire away.
The
Well, and
series
help
is-
Scullion out.
I've not
We
seen
got to name the
Stop yet.
specific game or the series?
The specific game.
No, no chance.
His mother's very proud.
Stop. Army men, Sarge as heroes.
Incorrect.
Is it an Army men game?
No.
What other series had like 8 games in fucking 1 year?
You think they released 5 Army Men games in 2009?
They released a lot of Army men games in like over the space of a couple of years. Never mind. It's not that.
Andy.
No, you've thrown me now.
Did you think it was Army men?
No. No. I was going to say Guitar Hero, but it wouldn't have been 4 in a
That's
year,
the
would it?
point, yeah. Oh, there have been though, because there was like a smash hits and
Stop. Guitar Hero.
I'm going to need a specific answer.
See.
Stop.
Go
Rock
for it.
band.
Incorrect.
What year was it?
I'm not in a million years. You could keep me all day here. Name which of the 17 Guitar Hero games.
2008.
2008.
Most people may have this game and its accessories sitting as toys in the attic, but it probably brings back some sweet emotion for them.
Oh, stop. Guitar Hero Aerosmith.
Correct.
There we go. You're right. This was making Andy angry. You're right.
Maybe they've just written a quiz for you.
June.
The world's biggest Aerosmith fan.
This is worth.
Yeah, the fact that you knew, like, I couldn't even name 3 Guitar Hero games.
Fun fact: Steve Tyler from Aerosmith is the cousin of Tommy
Tallarico,
Tallarico,
yeah.
formerly of Amico.
His mother's very proud. Right, 3-1. Question number, God knows. June 29th, 2012. The EU release of this game coincided with Jordan's 17th birthday. CVG's Ben
Famously.
Griffin, who I don't know who that is, gave the title 8.0 with a negative of... The negative in the review was relentlessly, perhaps excessively brutal, but saying the retelling of the popular novel was, quote, intriguing with a brilliantly realised setting. The hint is, this title is still a cult classic despite being delisted in January 2024. CVG's Ben Griffin, did you two work with him? Is he some kind of bad man?
He's a nice guy.
Stop. Dante's Inferno?
Good guess, but it's good, but it's wrong. That's a good guess, though.
This is 2012, did you say?
2012.
Based on a book, and it was delisted recently.
Cult classic.
That's what they call me.
I'm not saying cult.
I'm not saying classic.
Gonna need more, I think.
Are there other clues?
I read the other clue.
But it was delisted.
It was delisted in January 2024 as a cult classic. It's relentlessly, perhaps excessively brutal.
That's later than 2012.
I'll get you the developer. Go for it.
American McGee's Alice 2.
Incorrect.
Oh well. Imagine being called American McGee.
Why?
American McGee's is a nickname you would give to somebody who looked overly American.
The game is a third-person shooter developed by Jaeger Development and published by 2K.
Stop. The Line.
I'll give you Spec Ops: The Line. That's 3-2.
Is Spec Ops a book? Was that a Tom Clancy book?
I've absolutely no idea. I don't read.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here going, Of Mice and Men. FPS.
Of Mice and Men hero. This is an interesting one. June 29th, 2022. In the only VGC review Jordan has ever released on his birthday, he states that the title, quote, takes place in a new land across the sea after the events of the main game and brings with it new locales, a new central area, and a whole host of new characters to interact with. The expansion to an initially Switch exclusive game that added a grappling hook and verticality to a long-standing series.
Stop. Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak.
Ooh, it's 3-3. It's 3-3 going into the decider.
We're keeping. I gave him the first one.
Yeah.
It's 4-2.
Notice as it gets more recent, and I stop reviewing games, it starts getting.
That's a fair comment.
This is the decider, and this is from 2017. 2017, a now 22-year-old Jordan Midler in a video for BBC's The Social advocating for more Christmas-based games, my god, I was stealing a wage there, said that this title...
What then?
This trilogy title by Probe Entertainment, released in 1996, was a bloody good game. It's a popular Christmas movie, regardless of what anyone says about the setting.
Stop. Die Hard trilogy.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a modern game, eh?
It was released. It was 2017. That was
2017. I referenced a game from 1996.
Don't shoot the messenger.
That's called selling the dummy, making it sound recent than it actually isn't.
Don't shoot the bloody messenger. I just read the questions.
Kron.
Shoot Kron. Thank you very much, Kron, for your incredible submission. The official VGC quizmaker. Any complaints about that, directed to Kron in the DMs. We don't have time for one or two questions, but let's do these. Big Shigsy with the Jeffries asks, and let's do this sincerely now, and I know what the reaction will be immediately. If Chris is at level 8, what level is Jordan at? What level is Andy at?
What?
You know, Chris had this thing about breaking up his life by Nintendo consoles. And he said that this was his 8th level. I think I'm at 5, purely based on...
You're in the tutorial, mate.
Well, I think, I would say I break it up into 3 chunks. It's like my entire schooling life, and then leaving school, doing uni, doing the BBC stuff, and then the VGC eras. That's how I break up my life into 3
so
big
split
chunks.
into 3 Vice City, San Andreas.
Yeah.
So you judging this by your life levels and not... I thought when you made that comment, Chris, you meant it was sort of like based on what console generation you're on.
But I thought
that's the point is that my console generations are synchronized with my life.
Yeah, it breaks up his life events. Like, how do you do it by outlet, Andy? Or are you like, okay, this was when I was...
I don't think about it at all.
How do you not reflect in your life? I think about
what metaphorical level I'm at.
Yeah. You're coming to the end of the VGC era before you're murdered in a coup by Chris Scallion. Yeah, I think that's what I think. Also, Jordon, Jordon. Who the fuck's Jordon?
It's a big head for Power Rangers.
Yeah, I was going to say he's in Power
Rangers.
Hey.
You are VGC's Alpha 5. That's bang on. And Andy's Rita Repulsa. Okay. Matt H, what kind of birthday cake do you like? I like American birthday cake, but I like about one taste of it, and then it makes me want to be sick.
What's American birthday cake?
Like like a Costco cake.
On it.
It's got a gun in it.
The candles are replaced with Jeffries.
Like, you know how the Costco cake, they're like really white, kind of... Andy, you know what I'm talking about? The American style cakes, like the big ice cream cake kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, it's not really a cake.
Yeah, it's pure sugar.
I like an ice cream. I've only ever had an ice cream cake once.
Yeah.
From Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, that's exactly what the idea would be.
Yeah.
Very sugary.
The Baskin Robbins announced the new Mario stuff for Japan in July. this morning.
What flavours are there?
There's a grape and apple sorbet with Mario on it, and then a cake thing that comes with a towel that you can keep. As you do, because you need to towel off your ice cream.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like a generic cake. It's my daughter's birthday tomorrow as well, so we're getting her cake sorted.
You're calling the Caterpillar, man.
Splatoon themed.
Oh, naturally.
I'll share images on the socials, as the kids say.
Andy, you are calling the Caterpillar, man. You're a chocolate cake boy. What's the situation here for your birthday?
I like a sponge cake.
Yeah, sponge is alright.
With strawberry in it.
Yeah. Did you see that Marks and Spencer's have started doing like the strawberry sandos that you would get for a 7-Eleven?
Yeah, literally, my missus was talking about that yesterday. Oh my god.
We were talking about that yesterday as well.
Very Japan thing, that is.
Yeah, we were watching some sort of video yesterday. Someone staying at a capsule hotel and he goes to 7-Eleven and buys those strawberry ice cream things and strawberry sandwiches, and we were saying that Marks and Spencer's started. Apparently, they're amazing. I've never.
I can't get behind it. If the bread is like sweet to the point where it's essentially kind of a sponge situation.
Things you put, honestly, you put cream and strawberries in it. It just tastes like a cake.
Yeah, my logic, my belated logic, which I realised after leaving, is that you happily put Nutella on a sandwich, and that's fine. So, like in hindsight, I should have, because when I was there, it was like not last time at Town 4 they were doing Pikmin sandwiches.
Oh,
and I was like,
full of bugs
because it was all exactly. There's like a battery in it and like a Game Boy Advance. But yeah, so I wish I tried them now, but they were kind of, they had grapes in it and stuff like that, which was acceptable.
Very nice.
Hindsight might have been good.
Okay, last question. Favorite from each of us, from Ryan Easby, favorite video game related birthday memory. Mine is getting my PS3, for which would have been my. What was that in 2009, 14, 15? Getting my PS3, getting Infamous, getting Burnout Paradise, loading that all up and being like, my God, it takes a long time for these games to download and install on a PS3. Is this what I'm in for the rest of my life? But probably that one. I don't really... Because my birthday's in the summer, like games didn't really come out at that time, so I didn't get a lot of stuff then. But my PS3, Andy, any birthday related gaming memories?
I went to E3 on my 18th birthday.
Oh hell yeah! Oh my God! Did you still manage to?
Because it's like mine's like summerish, so there's not really much big game stuff going on.
Yeah,
I remember getting like Yoshi's Story, the N64 one for a birthday. Not a very good game. People don't release their bangers in the middle of the year.
Although weirdly, both Last of Us games came out in June, which is a strange kind of wrinkle. Chris, any birthday gaming memories?
10th birthday Super Mario Kart.
That's a decent one.
The original.
Yeah.
It's weird because back then, like you didn't always necessarily get games on day one because there was no FOMO of like people online ruining it. So it came out in January and my birthday's in April. So I was just had to basically wait until April for it. But yeah, the first Mario Kart was a birthday one. I loved that.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for all your questions. Thank you to Kron for that excellent quiz. We will be back next week, although we'll be sans Chris Scullion, sadly. Chris, would you want to leave a parting message to the VGC Maniacs?
Goodbye.
Okay. Check out Patreon.
I'll try and record things while I'm out there to try and kind of
record how sweaty you are.
No, I'll do it. I'll do a sweat check.
Wet break.
Chris Scullion's wet break.
I'll keep you updated on how many wipes per day I've done. But,
There'll be no wipes per day with the Japanese toilets, mate.
Yeah,
that's true. Listen,
just walk about with an arse caked in shite.
No. Listen, I've looked into the mechanics involved in like importing a Japanese toilet because of the future.
They send them here, mate.
I know, but
you can get them now.
But I don't think they're that easy to install in a small
bathroom. Oh, no. It's just because we've got this is the ramblings of someone who's clearly looked into this. They out there they just plug them into a socket, but it's against building reg here. You can't have a plug socket in a bathroom.
Bloody woke government regulations.
I want to plug in an air fryer while I'm in the shower.
Alex Donaldson's got one.
Of course he does.
Of course he has.
Yeah. He wears about 40 10 grand watches at a time. You can't trust that, man. RPG site's doing well. Until next time, We'll have more on the site next week. Check out our Death Stranding coverage. Check out patreon.com/videogameschronicle. And we'll see you next time. Say goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye, Chris.
Say goodbye, Andy.
Goodbye, Chris.
And we'll see you next time. Cool. I don't know why I did the double outro there, but